Hello everyone and welcome to another Grainman Travels, and today we're back in the USA and we're actually back in Montana in America. So we're actually looking at a new mod map called Black Mountain Montana. Now this isn't a brand new map, this is on a version 1.5, but the original versions before that came out were before I was doing any map tours. But I had a quick look through the changelog for 1.5 and I thought it looks like a really nice map, got some interesting features. So I thought I'd give it a bit of a map tour. So let's start with a few bits of information from ModHub as always. So the map, or this version of the map, was actually released on the 24th of the 5th, 2023. Again, a little bit behind on this one, so apologies. It's on a 1.5.0.0, as I said. It's actually made by a modder called Poorboy and Hoot. It's 305.95 megabytes to download. It's cross-play compatible, so it's PC, Mac, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One and Xbox Series X, etc. So let's just run through a few more bits of information. So it's actually a map from FS17 by the sounds of it, and it's got 2 new crops plus a few other crops that have been added at version 1.5. So you can do a few things. You can do alfalfa and black bean, soybean straw and corn straw, and you can also use corn straw to add to pigs for feed. It's got some new fill types including coal, gravel, dirt and pay dirt, which is like for gold. It's got some of the Platinum Edition add-ons on the carpentry. You've also got the sawmill does chips and bark, which is quite nice, and you can use the bark to make charcoal, which there's a production on the map for. The farm itself, which is down there, is completely sellable, as well as 90% of the fields. Soybean, sugar beet, potatoes and corn all have new textures, and the soybean is now set in rows. Now that was that's the original description. Now if you're going to run this latest map, you will need a new save game. So it's actually added some additional crops as of version 1.5.00. So you've now got peas, lentils and flax, and you've also got the ability to do swathing. So you do need the pickup header pack if you're going to do that, and it does produce a bit of a yield bonus, so that's good. So obviously this is all part of the swathing add-on from BC Bueller. So it's also added the ability to recycle waste from quite a few bits of junk around the map. So this is actually an add-on by a modder called Gwendol. There's also added more produce at the carpentry, added more crop options to feed the animals, fixed some bushes and also adjusted the land prices. So we can run through those though. So we just come down a little bit because we are quite high. The reason why we start off quite high is because this area here with lots of forestry, it's very high and very mountainous, which is quite nice to see. So it's a bit of an agro-forestry map, but some of the actual fields themselves are of a good size. So what we'll do, we'll get our feet back down on the ground as normal and we'll run through some of the starter equipment. So you start with quite a lot of equipment that's spread all over the map actually. So first off, as you can see, there's quite a lot of equipment in there. So we'll start with the small tractors. You get a T6 175 New Holland, which has got 175 horsepower, and that's on the main farm where we are now. Then you get a Steyr 8150 with 135 horsepower. Nice to see a Steyr in there again. You get a New Holland T7 315 HD medium tractor, which has got 313 horsepower. You get a nice Mack Pinnacle 6x4 MP8 505 truck with 505 horsepower. You get a New Holland CH 770 combine that can do all the custom crops as well, which is quite nice. You get 2 forestry machines which are quite far up the mountain in like a garage, even though you don't own the land, but they're there ready for you anyway. You get a New Holland TH742 Elite 146 horsepower telehandler. Nice to see a new telehandler on the map. You get a skid steer loader. You get a Manitou MC18-4 forklift. You get the standard Lizard pickup 1986. You get a Rudolph TDK 301 RP trailer, which can also take all the modded versions of the crops on the map, so that's nice. You get the 28 foot or 8.5 metre header for the New Holland. You then also get a 980 CR 8-30 corn and sunflower header, which is a 6 metre. You get a KUHN Prolander 7500 cultivator. That's also a shallow cultivator, only got a 250 horsepower requirement. You get a KUHN Espro 6000 RC seeder, and this is actually a direct seeder as well, so that's been modded as well, so it can do all the custom crops on the game, so that's nice. We also get, nearly there, we get a KUHN GMD 4411 fingerbar mower, and we also get a very unusual KUHN Merge Max 950 windrower. Now, I don't use this windrower myself. I might give it a try at some point because I've never used it and it's a bit strange. So we also get a Strautmann Xelon ZFS 2501DO forage wagon, which has got a nice 23 meters cubed of space. So that's good. We get a KUHN VB 3190 baler. We get some more forestry equipment. So we get a Kelso 144 ND forest trailer, and we get a timber runner by Fleagle as well, which can go on the back of the Mack truck. We get two Quickie Q5M front loaders, and we also get quite a big range of front loader tools. So we've got a Albert log fork, a pallet fork, a round bale fork, and a universal bucket. We're nearly there. We get a Magsy universal bucket for the telehandler as well. We also get 3 bits of front skid steer loader tools. So we get the high dump bucket, the pallet fork, and the bale spike. Header trailer is normal, and the Bachmann MHAL 4320-3S little trailer. So this is actually your main farm over here. So you've got a few nice buildings. It's nice and bright. So you get this nice workshop here, which has got your telehandler and your front loader in. So that's nice to see. You've got all your equipment here with in this nice easy shed. You get a nice hay loft. There's your Strautmann forage wagon, which is nice to see, which works nicely. There's one of your header trailers. You got your lime station there, and you've got another big shed here, which has got your couple of your tractors in, which is really nice to see. You've got over the road, you've got a silo. Your house is here next to your lizard pickup truck with your nice doggy, which is actually there's your sleep trigger as well. And then over the road, which will just fly across if you don't get run over. Quick, made it. So as you can see, the topology of the map goes up pretty quickly. So we'll start with here. This is a pigsty here, and that's got a 300 head size. You've got a nice shed there to put some of your equipment for this side. So if we then just go to run through some more of the animals, so let's just, so we actually get a pigsty, a sheep barn, a cow barn, and a chicken pasture. Now if we just find these on the map quickly, we can get there pretty quick then. So chicken pasture is actually behind the hay loft and the easy shed, and this one's got a 30 hen count, so that's quite nice. And we've got the pigsty there, got the chicken there, and we've got the cow barn here. It's actually a cow barn with an open area, so it's nice to see. It's a big one as well, so it's actually a 500 head cow barn. So it's a good size again to start with, which is nice that you get something this big. And then the sheep barn itself is in an interesting area. It's actually at the top, up all the way over here, up one of the mountain roads. Now, you don't own the land, but you do have a sheep barn up here. So, slightly unusual, but hey, just how the modder's done it. That's a 65 head sheep barn, and another little wooden shed there as well. I mean, the outlook on this area is really nice. You've got a nice bit of grass there as well. You could probably buy this area and then create enough hay to keep these sheep going, to give you some nice amount of wool moving forward. So if we just zoom back down to the main farm, which is just here, we'll just have a quick run through the fields we get on New Farmer Mode as well. So we zoom straight out. So we get this area here, which has got the bit over the road with the pigsty, etc., and your silo. This is the main farm. You get field 13, which is obviously always ready to harvest as always. But your cow barn's actually outside the land you own, which again is a little bit unusual, but hey, that's just how it's been done. So in this map layout itself, massive amount of area of forestry all around here, and with some very interesting forest tracks as it goes up, etc. There's not an awful lot of fields, as you can see, but you know, they're quite nice. They're not a bad size. They're a little bit uniform and a little bit square in places with some angled corners, which is not always brilliant, but it's okay. The road network is pretty basic. There's like a T-shaped road running down here, through here, and then all the other roads running off up the mountains, which is just, you know, quite nice. I suppose it's quite authentic, because obviously you're not going to have major roads up a mountain, so that's quite nice. The crop calendar for the default crops hasn't been altered massively, as you could probably see, but as it has added the alfalfa, the black bean, the lentils, the flax and the peas. So, you know, I'm a big fan of having some custom crops, so it's quite nice to see that. And their planting and harvest seasons, obviously they're pretty well spaced apart, so you could get some other things in between, which is quite nice, just to give you something a bit different to do. There's lots and lots of custom goods and crops, so got a pretty standard layout at the top, and you know, we're on some good prices as well, and not too bad for quite a good place to sell a few things as well. Not a massive array of places to sell, but quite a few nevertheless, so you should get some good prices. You do get quite some interesting ones. So you got like compost, which is something I've never seen before. Obviously got your alfalfa hay, your black bean, your flax, your peas and your lentils. Now lentils I've seen quite a few times now seem to be of a very good price, so it's definitely something to look into. You also get asphalt and corn straw. You got coal as well, which you can then take to places. I think you get that up if you start doing digging. Same with the dirt, which obviously then allows you to get the ability to create gold. So there's iron ore, there's clay, there's pay dirt, which you can also get out of the ground, crude oil, kerosene, bark, empty pallet mod, and then you've got all your bits and bobs from your expansion from the Platinum Edition, so that's good. You got gold and gold bars. Now gold bars aren't worth as much as I thought they would be, so quite surprised by that. But what you also have, there's your animals. The contract's pretty good, to be honest with you. Obviously, as you can see here, there's not going to be a massive amount. I think that's probably the most I've seen as I've skipped through the months. Obviously, there's not an awful lot of fields, so if you're going to be someone who likes to do contracts to get a bit more money in, this probably isn't the map for you. You do get a few productions, so you get 2 large greenhouses and a grain mill. So the grain mill itself is, I'll transport there and then I'll zoom out again so we can see where we are. So it's actually up the top here in this little area. I'd probably just call a little bit of a village, so it's just there. You've also got your farmers market, bale sale and animal dealer, so we may as well run through some of the productions, I suppose. Stone crusher, biomass heating plant, black mountain carpentry, your paper, cardboard and pallet plant, fast food restaurant, Hoot's place selling, gas station again, your eco area where you can take the junk from the map to actually go and get rid of it and make some money, and also your vehicle shop. So what I will do quickly is your large greenhouse is actually up here, and once again you don't own this area of land, so a bit strange, but hey, that's just how it's been done. One thing I will just mention, if we go here, I think it's behind the gas station, over this side where this recycling plant is. So that's the recycling plant that you can take the junk. It's a bit like the collectibles, but I think there's also collectibles on the map as well. But you got some signs just to give you a bit more information. So that's quite nice. That gives you a bit of information about the header system you need, or the swathing system header that you need. And also you've got the whole ability that your soybean straw has 2 different ways, and your corn nut straw also has 3 different ways of using it. You can use it for feed, tedding it turns it to straw, and then you can wrap it to ferment into TMR. So here's the actual place you can take your junk to recycle it, and you get a little bit more information here, so that's quite nice to see, something a bit different. And the other side of this shed, you get some more little bits of information, so you get little tidbits of information, which is quite nice to see that. So you got some free water behind the gas station, water can be used in sprayers and slurry tankers as fertiliser, planters plant all crops. Spruce and pine will fully grow in 24 hours. Lime added to the manure spreaders. Huge stone pile up on a mountain. Gold wash plant and gold smelter need to be placed. And these 20 collectible cartridges, and 2 of them are worth 500,000. When the land that we're standing on here is owned by you can come to this shed and get rid of these signs. So just a nice little quirk of the map I thought I'd just point out. So we've done all these now, so we've got the fast food restaurant and the Hoot's place. If we then come down this side, this is our farm obviously. Just over the farm we've got a residential sale place, you've got another one, you've got charcoal production, and you've got a residential sale place. In the mountainous areas you've got a debris crusher, you've got a petrol tank, and up here you've got the Black Mountain sawmill. Now this has actually got some of the additional equipment that you start with in new farmer mode that you don't see on the main farm. So you've got your Mack truck here, plus your Fleagle trailer, and your stayer, your forest trailer, and your Manitou. So again, a few more bits of equipment that you start with. That's quite nice to see. So we'll just skip on a bit further. Up here obviously you've got your sheep barn, and you've also got a place to take some coal, which I believe is a mine shaft. Up here is actually where 2 of your big Komatsu forestry pieces of equipment are, in this shed. Again, you don't own the land, but you do have a storage area here for these 2 bits of equipment. So something a little bit different. And then the last thing is you got another medium petrol tank. So as you can see, forestry wise, yeah, a lot of potential if you buy it. Lots of wood to cut down, transport, etc. Some interesting roads I would have thought to get down the mountains, so that could be quite challenging for people who like a bit of a challenge. And yeah, pretty good really. So I think what we'll finish with, as always, because we've run through everything we usually do, so we've done the productions, etc. I think what we'll do then, we'll get back to the main farm again, just come out of this tractor, and we'll just run through the field prices, because obviously there's not many of them and they have been altered as part of 1.5, so I'm going to take a guess they're probably going to be quite expensive. So if we wanted to expand into 14, yeah, 231,860, so that's not cheap. Field 12, 346,000. Field 11, 193, 179, 137, 358, 139, and if you want to buy that area there, it's 20,000. So okay, it's not too bad actually. It's not as bad as I was expecting. I thought they'd be higher than that. If you want to start some forestry up here, so obviously there's your forestry equipment. Let's say you wanted to buy 17, 166, that's not bad. 16, 395, 23, 233, 32, 98. So if you want to do some forestry, you could probably get into it with 100 grand at least. So yeah, that's not too bad I suppose. You'd probably want to get quite close to where your machines are. So a good harvest and some good wood production, you'd probably get set up pretty well. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this video and you found it informative on the map tool. If you have, give it a like and subscribe to the Grainman channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Many thanks.